Hello, hello. Welcome to Body Tuning Live. Today we're going to be working on the multifidus group of muscles along the spine, which are these tiny little muscles that connect each vertebrae to the next vertebrae above it, like a little thing like this. And it helps twist the spine and also slightly extend the spine. Okay, but they're really small muscles, so we need to use very small movements in order to target. If we just arch the back, we're probably using mostly the big muscles. So we're going to use this easy shimmy stuff, and we're going to try to bring the awareness through each level of the spine as we loosen up today. Okay, the first place I want to put awareness is on the other side of the solar plexus, here on the back. Okay, where you imagine the bottom of the rib cage meets the lower back. That's where we're going to get a lot of this rotation from. And we're just going to sit in the shimmy and try to get as much of the spine to move at once. Okay. I'm not actually moving the shoulder blades back and forth. I'm not making this type of movement. I'm really just moving the chest back and forth about 1 inch. And the arms just come along for a ride. They kind of get dragged along the side of the body. All the time I'm trying to get taller with my head. Going up. Not down, but up. Good, move the awareness slightly up between the shoulder blades now. And feel the shimmy, trying to feel movement throughout the entire spine. If we become too tall, we won't be able to rotate easily through the upper spine. We'll get most of it from about here. And if we start to round more, we're actually going to feel that the bottom doesn't move as much now. And up here starts to move quite a bit more. So we're going to go in and out of this flexion pattern, up to tall, winding down. All the time just shimmying the body. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. We're moving the awareness up through the body. Now we're going to the collarbone level. Okay, again, we're doing the same shimmy, but now you want to focus on feeling the collarbones moving back and forth. And in the back, you're feeling the base of the neck moving with the collarbones. Nice long exhales, relaxing the body as we move. Diving deeper now through flexion, we can start to pull into the lower back a little bit.
Stretching and coordinating these small muscles through small movements.
Looking up slightly and following it back down. No force, just move as easily as possible. I'm going to spend some time down here for the lower back.
Again, keeping as much movement as we can in the spine.
Good, keeping the same shimmy, we're going to start to develop the neck movement quite a bit more now. Okay, turning side to side. Again, still shimmying the spine through rotation. Try moving the head in the yes movement while continuing to shimmy through the chest. Not so easy, but let the head do what it wants. If you end up bobbling, this is fine. Okay, as long as the movement stays small and easy. Good, shimmying up and down slowly. Really just trying to move and focus entirely on the spine. Don't let the arms become involved. The arms just like wet noodles. The only thing you're really controlling is moving the spine through rotation, back and forth. Now this exercise is actually really important also for walking, because we need the counter rotation in the upper body to balance the lower body when we're walking. So that's sometimes easier to feel when we're walking more slowly. You can clearly feel whoosh, kind of the sway. But when we need to walk faster, we also need to be able to rotate a little bit quicker so that the whole body moves in sequence together. So developing the easy, quick shimmy in the upper body is actually really important for the walking movement as well. We're going to move to a stand position in a second. Just get a little bit more in for the neck before we have to deal with complicating things with the legs and pelvis. You can play with all kinds of different angles, getting schlumpy, coming back up, getting too tall. If you were the kind of person who used to crack their neck a lot, and now your neck doesn't crack so easily, or you have pain, this stuff is really, really great for getting back to the crackable zone. So after you spend 15 minutes doing this, if you try, probably the neck's going to move a little bit more easily. I don't advocate cracking your own joints, but I know lots of people do it, anyway. I've done it myself many times. But if you've noticed that all of a sudden it became harder to manipulate your own joints, then this type of shimmy movement is really great for loosening up the muscles so that you can make your own adjustments again. Then going down and up now. If you start to develop an interesting sensation around the spine that almost feels like an itch, like you want to kind of scratch it, or like it's maybe sort of painful or just discomfort, but mostly the bizarre sensation that can come is an itching sensation around the spine, this means you're really on the right track. And if you just continue to focus on that area while you do this movement, the itching will eventually turn into clear sensation, and you'll start to be able to feel the muscles more easily that way. It's happened to me numerous times where I think, oh, I'm so close, if only I could just dig in there. But it's better just to keep shimmying, and you'll see that the itch becomes some kind of new awareness. Okay, let's bring this up to a standing position and see how this relates to being on 2 feet. Again, not stopping the shimmy in the chest. We now have options for shimmies lower down in the body as well. Okay, so the basic shimmy from the chest, still very good. All right, we can just shift from side to side at the same time. But now let's move the shimmy into the hips. Now you can see my chest doesn't move, but I'm just swiveling the pelvis. And you can see in the mirror over here a little bit too how this hip is traveling forwards and backwards, right? Twisting the lower body. Up top, I'm not really working, but you can still see the arms get a little bit of a rotation feel. And once you've got a handle for spinning the hips in place, then we want to try to combine the upper body shimmy with the lower shimmy. So that way we're getting one chest, one shoulder going back while that hip comes forward. And then the opposite, the shoulder goes back while this hip comes forward. And we get that shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. All right, that's really the walking movement. That's what I was talking about. Boom, boom. Nice, easy to feel in slow motion. But if you want to walk fast, you need to be able to control the rotation in the pelvis and the chest so that we get this counter rotation going on. A funny thing does happen when I relax my throat and do this. The twisting actually pumps your lungs. I'm going to get a little bit closer and you might be able to hear the breath coming in and out. But I'm actually not breathing in and out. This is from getting the rotation, compresses one lung, and then opens one lung. And this gives me this funny kind of panting sound that just happens when the throat is relaxed. Okay, shimmy, 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 shimmy. Getting the hips to move. Now adding the head in, all rotation. So the only thing you want to look out for here is that you're not starting to get something more side to side or shifty, right? This is not rotating the pelvis. This is just moving the hips around, right? We want to stay in line, get the rotation spinning, spinning, and the head spinning. As long as you're staying on the horizontal plane, you're doing good. Good. Also thinking getting taller with the head. This is a deceptively difficult training session to continue to move the hips in opposition to the chest. Not only takes mental focus, but really good control of the abdomen. Okay, let's loosen the spine a little bit more, taking the shimmy through flexion, down and up. Good, getting back to the basics, spinning the hips, spinning the shoulders. We can now start to bend and straighten the knees while we maintain the shimmy. Again, the arms are doing nothing. I'm moving only from the spine and the rib cage, right? Trying to rotate the whole rib cage back and forth while the hips are in opposition. The arms just flopping along. Extending the spine a little bit. Good, incorporating the head now that we've gotten more used to the movement. Let's take a quick second to stretch the spine open, going down horizontal. And we're just going to rotate both ways. And this was my back cracking. Okay. And again, shimmying. See if you can notice a little bit more freedom in the shimmy after stretching through the rotation. Also, by now, if you've kept up the shimmy as much as I have, you may be starting to feel some fatigue growing in the abdominal area. This is really what we want. Sometimes it's hard to tell what is actually doing the work during this movement, but you can definitely start to notice that the abs are getting tired of trying to control the twisting all the time. Now let's work on just the hips again. Swinging side to side. On the side, you can see that I don't have to change the alignment of my body to twist the pelvis. I don't need to go out here or come forward. Easy to be in the middle and feel the horizontal rotation. All right, getting the chest involved again. Relaxing the jaw. Starting to push the air out. We're going to start to incorporate some of the more complete breathing and see how different it is to shimmy when you have a little bit more tension in the abdomen. And so we're pushing the air all the way out to the bottom of the exhale, resting a few seconds, breathing, and out again. Here we go. In, resting at the bottom, shimmy. Hi there.
It's Friday.
Yeah. Good. Good. If you'd like to mobilize the back, I use the hand on the top of the back of the hip and I just push forward while I sink back like this. And we get something like clunk, clunk. Okay, for the upper spine, I'm using the hands here and I push up to arch at the same time. And we're getting something like boom. Then later for the neck, I explore the twisting, explore till I find something, boom. Looking, boom. Easy with the jaw. Okay, don't hurt yourself, but this is sometimes what I do after I've warmed up completely like this. Maybe once a week I do something like this, getting lots of rotation, preparing the spine, and then making manipulations like that. Okay. Okay, interesting session today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the dedication to twisting. Try to notice in your walking if you can feel this rotation happening now. Now it's going to be a lot easier to feel the reciprocal movement in the body when we walk. Right? And if you need to walk quickly, shoo, 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 you can easily rotate like we have been. Okay, so go experiment with that. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Okay, bye-bye.